Guys, it's Jamie. Very quickly before we get into it, I made this card before I filmed the video because I was charging my camera, so there it is quickly. It's just a Project Life card with some alphas on it. So this is my January Project Life, and if you didn't know, this year for Project Life I'm doing 12 by 12, which last year I did 9 by 12, so this is interesting. This is my second year of doing Project Life, and I do monthly Project Life. I feel it makes me feel less constrained. So this card is my goals for the year. I don't make resolutions, I kind of make goals, which I know they're very similar, but that's sort of how I do it. So I like to have them written down, although I'm not a very visual learner. I like to write things down for me. I don't know why, I'm not visual, but it really helps me to write things down, and I thought it'd be a nice idea to flick back through this, at the end of the year and sort of see what I've got. So most of my goals, are just generally, the first one I think is have 150 subscribers on YouTube, which fingers crossed I can do. That's going to be really awesome. I'll be happy with that. Another one is finish what you started. So I do often start a lot of things that I don't end up finishing them, which is a little bit annoying. So this is my first filler card. I only have one filler card for January, I think, for this side. So both sides are my Project Life, and I had a lot of photos for January because it is the holidays here in Australia, so I had a lot of photos, and I think that throughout the year, as it progresses into university, because this is my final year of uni, I think it's going to get less and less photos. So I decided to just stick with this green card because the colour scheme I kind of go with is like a greeny colour and blue, and I kind of picked out the green colour from that January title card, and in real life it's coming up blue in the picture here, but in real life it's a little bit more of a tealy colour, and I don't have a lot of teal, so I thought I'll just jump on the green train and I'll do green. So this is a photo of my cat and my dog, and they're sleeping together, which is so cute because they never sleep together. If my dog is asleep on my bed and then my cat comes in, my cat will walk to the opposite end of the bed and sleep there, and vice versa. If the cat's on the bed and the dog walks over, the dog has to go away from him. They don't like sleeping together. They play with each other sometimes, but they just will not sleep together. And this night, I'm not sure why, but they were slept back to back. It was probably one of the cutest things I think I've ever seen them do. So obviously I had to take a photo and put it in my Project Life. I would normally make a layout out of something like this, but the photo quality wasn't too great because it was about midnight when I noticed and I took the photo. So I thought I'll put it in my Project Life because it's something that I want to remember. And just some journaling down the bottom I wrote something along the lines of, "This is awesome, they've never done this before, and I'm so happy to finally see them doing this." Something along those lines. My Project Life is definitely where I do my journaling. I'm not a big journaler. I think probably because most of the things that I document are kind of generic-y photos. Like a lot of my photos are just of my pets or of me and my boyfriend just kind of posing. Like, they're not very journally orientated things, so I do try and put as much journaling as I can or as I'm willing to in my Project Life. So this is a present that my friend gave me maybe about a week or so into January, and it was a Christmas present. Her and I always give each other Christmas presents, and this year she actually bought me a scrapbook kit, which I was so excited about because I don't think anyone has ever bought me scrapbooking presents before outside of my family, because a lot of people don't really know what to buy, or they actually just don't know, because for me, I feel like it's not something that a lot of young people do, or at least if they are young, they generally will have families or something. So it's a bit different for me, and I think a bit different for other people when they find out that I scrapbook. But I have had a few people come up to me who have found my Instagram and are like, "That's so awesome that you're doing this," and they'll talk about how they've always wanted to try and do it, and then how they're so nervous. And I always just tell them that, you know what, just get in there and do it. Like, it takes practice. Like, I've been doing this for 4 years now, maybe 5. I did smash books when I was in grade 12, which was really cool, and I made mini albums as well. And then I started doing proper, I think, layouts and things in 2016, I believe, which yeah, 2016 I think, and then Project Life. This is obviously my second year of doing Project Life. I'm really enjoying it, it's awesome. So I'm just adding a bit of black tissue paper on the back of this, sorry for the tangent. Some black tissue paper on the back because I kind of wanted this card to be sort of like a little layout in itself. I really like doing that with the 6x4 cards because I don't take a lot of 6x4 photos that are horizontal, so they, from what I've noticed from doing any sort of 6x4 Project Life page, I don't have a lot of photos that size, so I've been challenging myself to try and take more photos, to take sort of intentional photos, I think. I do love taking, those funny ones where I'm just sitting in my room and one of the dogs is being really weird, which is happening right now. He's rolling around on the floor. If you can hear that, I'm sorry about that. I'm just going through these cards because I'm trying to find sort of more of a subtle card. I wasn't entirely happy with the one that I picked, and I think I also find a card soon that I end up cutting out. So I grabbed this card out, which was the front, which was my my title card. So I think I'm just fussy cutting out the shape that's on the back of it. Actually, no, I was cutting out one of the flowers because I wanted a detail that kind of connected the whole layout together. So the Project Life that I'm using, I think it's one of the value kits, and I think it was this and that, possibly. It's the first Project Life kit I ever bought. It was, I think, $5 a spotlight, which is just like mind-blowing. Here in Australia, you go there and they're only like $30 and they never go on sale. At least that's what I've noticed at Spotlight. They never go on sale. I'm always generally buy journaling cards from somewhere else. Project Life cards are definitely beautiful, but sometimes here in Australia they can be a little bit pricey. So I'm just writing down my journaling, and magically it has appeared all done with the power of editing. So I'm adding some just tiny little embellishments on top of that flower. So I do add a puffy sticker. It's from the Crepe Paper Journal Studio kit. I've been using that a lot lately because it's a newer supply, and typically, when we get new things we tend to use the new and pretty things. But I have been trying to definitely use my stash. I'm very much a stash user rather than a new products user because I don't often get new products. I'm just putting the stickers on there. I think they're from Main Squeeze. Again, crepe paper. I love crepe paper. I'm definitely a crepe paper fangirl. I think a lot of people are. Their stuff is just magnificent. It's so beautiful. So I'm just fiddling around getting a few extra stickers and putting it down just to do a tiny little cluster in the center, and I'm going to call that card done. And I think next I grab out the photo of my brother's dog here. His name is Blaze, and I just wanted to add a little bit of some embellishments on there. And I do decide to grab out my Maggie Home sticker book and find sort of a green embellishment to go with that green card. And I grab out this beautiful word, and it's a clear sticker, so I stick that on top. And the reason I love clear stickers is you can put them directly onto photos and you can see through them, which looks really cool to me. I think it kind of looks like digital scrapping a little bit. I do try to put the word smile underneath it, but it didn't exactly work. And then I grab a few extra little bits and pieces from the Maggie Home sticker book just to make a little cluster. I grab a little heart, and I'm just grabbing that label, just move it around so that I could tear out that label sheet later on. I have been pulling out the sheets when they're completely empty, and then I think this little sticker just said happy, something along those lines, and then I add a little tiny heart, and then that card is done, and I'm going to slip that into the page. There we go, a little close up. I think that's basically everything that I do. I was going to do something on the photo of my Christmas tree that was all the embellishments taken off. All of the ornaments taken off before we put the tree away. It's kind of one thing that I'm not a big fan of after Christmas is taking down the tree, because I love having the Christmas decorations up. To me, it's just, I would have them up all year round. So I'm going to stamp a phrase onto this, I'm going to call it a label. I think it's a tab. I'm not sure, just to kind of cover up the photo of my boyfriend's pants next to the cat, because obviously I didn't want to wake him up when I took this photo, so I kind of had to sneakily take it, and I knew that I was probably going to try and cover them up with an embellishment. So that's definitely something you can do in Project Life. If you have a photo that, you know, you've tried to edit, you've edited it, you've tried to take it out, you can always cover it up when you're, you know, you're making. You can cover it up with a sticker. Here I'm covering up with a tab that I've stamped something on there. I think it says Happy Memories, possibly. And I decided to actually put it up the top and have it off the edge, because I do love having photos off the edge. And again, I'm using green embellishments because I love green, and then I don't love green, but this is the theme of this layer is green, and I just use a staple to put that on, and that's done. And I think that's all I do for the whole layout. I wanted to leave a couple of photos unembellished because I think it looks really awesome. I do kind of stare at it for a few minutes and go, oh, do I want to do it? But I'm pretty happy with how it looks, so I'm going to have a close-up here for you guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's been really fun trying to do 12x12 Project Life this year. I'd love to know what Project Life you're doing, so thanks for watching, everybody. Bye!